Dear students, I am Zoba Bansiwal, Assistant Professor English, SPC Government College, Bhim. Today I am going to explain the critical appreciation of the poem Ode to the West Wind by Percy Bysshe Shelley. This poem was composed in the year 1819 near in Arno, uh, which is situated at the uh, which is situated near the forest. This poem was published in the year 1820 along with Shelley's musical drama Prometheus Unbound. The theme of this poem is that the poem wants to convey that the poet in this poem speaks about the death of the year and hardness of winter season. Still, he has optimistic thought that they will come um, a millennium when they would rule happiness and love in the world. So he prophesies the awakening of a new world and which is ideal and reformed. The Shelley used in this poem used symbolism in this poem. Uh, the west wind in the poem is a symbol of change. Um, uh, the west wind is a destroyer and preserver also. It destroys the withered leaves and it preserves the seeds which will sprout into flowers and sprout into plants and flowers. So the west wind is a destroyer as well as a preserver, and it is a symbol of change. The west wind is the symbol of the destruction of the old order, and and the through west wind, the poet wants to present that uh, the west wind is the symbol of change. It will destroy the old conventions, the old uh, means it will destroy the old order of things and bring about a new order. Uh, this the poet has the through west wind the poet presents his own personality also. Uh, the poet says that he too was like west wind. He too was like he too was swift, uncontrollable, and proud like west wind. But now he is crushed under the weight of circumstances and hardships of his life, and he has lost all the energies of his life, and so he is crushed now. And the west wind is a symbol of revolutionary change as it will destroy the old order of things and will bring about a um, um, new order in which they will happiness and love would rule. Uh, Shelley used personification in this poem. He personified west wind. He personified west wind. West wind is compared to a magician. Just as a magician um, flees, drives ghost before it. In the same way, the west wind drives the withered leaves and it scatters the seeds here and there. The west wind awakens the Mediterranean and Atlantic seas, and it its and the west wind is presented as the dirge of the dying year. Uh, Sally always described nature in his poems, and his attitude towards nature is scientific. He presents in his poems, in his nature poems, exact facts of science, such as just as in this poem, he says that the the seafoods, which is at the bottom of the Atlantic seas, um, these woods which wear sapless foliage uh, uh, despoil themselves in autumn season when the west wind blows over the Atlantic, um, and he used similes and metaphors. Um, in this poem, withered leaves. There are he the Sally presents. Sally speaks about various colors of. Sally speaks about multicolored um, uh, leaves. They are pale red, hectic red, black uh, leaves, and these leaves, and it appears as if these leaves are stricken with some pestilence. So here he presents the leaves as human beings, or human beings who are stricken with some pestilence. And the west wind is compared to a magician. So west wind, which is an immaterial thing, is compared to a material magician. Uh, the clouds, uh, the clouds. In the second stanza, the clouds are compared to a Minate, who is a votary of Bacchus, who is the god of wine. So the clouds uh, are compared as Minate, are presented as Minate. Uh, the philosophical idea of this poem is that Sally through this poem wants to convey that. First of all, let me tell you that Sally was a revolutionary. He was not content with the existing modes of life and conventions. He wanted to change all the existing states of affairs, and he wanted to bring about a new reformative world in which happiness and love would rule. Um, so in this poem, he wants to uh, show that even if there is winter and darkness of clouds, still uh, there is a hope to look beyond these darkness and miseries, and uh, they will he prophesies about the millennium. He prophesies about a happy world, a reformative world, which will rule in this universe, which is about to appear in the in future. In the last line of this poem, in which the poet says, um, "If winter comes, can spring be far behind?" This line expresses the optimistic thought of Sally. In this line, through this line, he wants to say that um, if even if the situation, even if there are miseries in life in at present, but there is a hope of a happy future. This poem, the form of this poem is a ode. This poem has each stanza of this poem has 14 lines, um, and two last line of each stanza is a couplet. So these each stanza has the form of a sonnet, and so this is the poem of these are characteristics of the poem Ode to the West Wind. Thank you.